Influencer. That's the word that's driven me crazy and driven me to all of this. I got into it when I was one of the first influencers on YouTube before it was even considered a thing or legal, probably. I've written a book on it. I've talked about it. I've had an agency doing influencer marketing. I realized that in Amanda's playbook, I never actually defined it. And it's one of the most confused terms out there, influencer. And to really understand, to do influencer marketing really well, that is marketing. That's what business is, to be able to influence. So we have to come back to the definition, number one, of what is influence. Before we just go, who is an influencer for us? What is influence? And influence is the ability to cause action, whether it's a behavior, a way of thinking, pressing a button, changing a thought, whatever that is, that's influence. So then what does that mean? If that's influence, then an influencer, putting an R on the end of it, is simply the force. The person doesn't even have to be a person. It can be a brand that has the ability to cause that action amongst that desired audience. Two things are needed. First, number one, awareness. You have to be first aware of something in order for it to be able to influence you. And ability. Can it influence the thought, the service, the desired action, whatever that is? So starting there versus starting with how many social media followers does someone have? How famous are they? That can be influential, but that is just modern day advertising. That is social media following. It doesn't actually equal influence. So when people say you study influencer marketing, what is one of the most helpful tips, or what is the thing you see done wrong mostly, or the ones that do it right? The number one thing is, number one, it starts with a tiny shift, but a massive shift. This tiny shift in perspective on what influencer marketing really is creates an entirely different trajectory. You start with, what is influence? Who is really my audience, and what or who is really influencing them? Those are your influencers. That means that if you are learning to farm chickens in your backyard, then that influencer is probably going to be some very niche local farming expert, home do-it-yourself farming expert. There's just so many different niches and ways that a lot of markets are not sexy, and to reach them, it's not about posting on social media. That's just modern day advertising, and it's less and less and less, if any, trustable. So find the audience, who influences them, and then what are those forces? Love or hate it, Oprah's book club slaps their sticker on something. You may not have paid any attention to that book, but if an author tells you that their book was named an Oprah's book club sticker and shows you the sticker, all of a sudden, now, aren't you like, oh, well, I guess that's legit. That's a real book. Like, that's not just like some little teeny weeny book. That's got to be a real book. Oprah's book club or Reese Witherspoon book club. Or if I say I have a startup, and you go, great, another startup idea. Oh, but Google and Sequoia Capital are my seed investors. Well, now, don't you look at my startup differently? You don't know me, you don't trust me, but all of a sudden, by having these influential forces, which are not even people, the people behind them, they have this halo effect of influence. So find out what that is. Think outside of just, when you Google something like social media influencers, or you use a tool or an agency, they're just going to pop up whatever the most obvious, most popular SEO'd people, brands are in the space with your tags, with your word, like fitness influencer. Oh my gosh, look at what that comes up. Like the most popular on the planet. Do they actually have influence over your audience? Maybe, but probably not. And if they do, it's going to require more than just one pay to post. So it's really moving from this idea that influencer marketing is a transaction to it is an interactive process. It is a relationship. It's a trust-based two-way relationship. That is influencer marketing. It's about an iterative, interactive process, not a transaction. It's really focusing on the desired action, not just the communication channel. That's just the medium. That's just like the modern day telephone, right? If I call you and tell you about a restaurant, the telephone's not the influencer. It's the person, the force behind it. The thought process should be a value, mutually added, mutually beneficial relationship, like a friendship, like the relationship you have with your sister, mother, brother, father, cousin. It's not, I do this for you, so I'll do that for you. They call, you'll answer because you trust them and you seek out their opinion. Think of it as relationship marketing versus transactional marketing. And I believe that that is the only future, the only way to break through. This is what this is all about. Understanding people and what motivates them and inspires them to action. And this video will be worth more than any business course if you can just shift that thinking and maybe you optimize or build even one or two really quality, substantial relationships from this. So that's all I have for you today. Don't forget to subscribe. Please subscribe to my channel, Amanda's Playbook, where I try to take influencer marketing, look less like any kind of science and more like relationship marketing, and simple yet fun. This is the only way of the future if you want to stand out. See you guys back here next time.